So that's our robot selection. And now getting into weld cells. So we kind of break those down into three categories. The pre-engineered weld cells are all the arc welds that Motoman offers off the shelf, already done, a lot like this. This is actually one too. And then custom designed would be more, you know, hey, we need a robot to do parts like this. We're gonna have to pick a positioner to hold those parts. We're gonna have to pick robots to get the job done, put the guarding around it, add our options in. And then what we do here a lot is we'll do so arc weld obviously is going to come straight from Motoman. You know, and a lot of the smaller cells. Well, we'll look at that in a minute. You know, they're just you'll drop them on your floor. You can plug them in and start welding. They're like complete and fully tested. All of these are fully tested, you know, at Motoman, or if we're doing a build here, we do the same thing here. So, custom designed, all custom built. Actually, we'll get into that. I got a slide on that. What else we'll do is we'll do a slightly modified design that's kind of based on an arc world. So as far as arc world goes, this is the selection, you know, 1, 2, 3 robots, single station, dual station, different positioners on each one of these. And so I kind of just started off with the HC. There's a arc world HC, comes on the table with casters. Everything's built in. Fume extraction hood is an option. Great for doing multiple parts. It comes with the perforated tabletop, so 16 millimeter holes on 2-inch pattern for fixture clamping. You know, pretty good sized work surface. You can do multiple small parts or one large one. Very flexible and fast to deploy. I would say fast to deploy on just about all of the arc worlds until you get to the really big ones. So, and that's just kind of a more close up of what that arm would look like with the torch on it. Cleaner station, you can go right in there too. We've got some small options. This would be with the AR900, a little bit bigger than that GP8 over there. I mean, great for small parts, sub-assemblies. You know, they got a small work area, but if you just want to drop this on your fork, you've got a lot of those small parts to do time and time again. It's a manual door, so operator opens the door, can change out parts. Again, that perforated work surface allows us good clamping and fixturing. Really flexible. Next step up from that, which would give you a little bit more throughput, is this guy. So this actually, so this is RS, which would be rotary station. And that has just a rotary door. So there's a tabletop on both sides of this door. So that door is going to look the same when I turn it around. Again, just manual operation. So now I can fix your parts on this tabletop, have them ready to go, you know, unload and reload, flip that door, hit the green button, robot's processing on the other side while I'm loading and unloading. 700 by 425 table. So again, just small parts, sub-assemblies, you know, fully enclosed, just all encompassing. There's we can do a torch cleaner in there. I think maybe that one showed. So you can put a torch cleaner right in there. They do have spool holders that can go right in there as well. Stack light, gas cylinder, mount. And then, and so from there, so those are kind of, you know, the small cells. This one is still, so this is our LC. This is the one that we have back behind this wall. AR 1440. so 1400 millimeter each. You can get these as 1 or 2 station. The single station one would have swinging doors to get larger part in and out. Just a full tabletop or headstock, tailstock. So headstock, tailstock is positioner to rotate the parts around so we can get to more areas of it, get to the bottom, anything like that. Ours is a 2 station, it looks like this. So we have dual tables. And then we could do headstock on each one of those. When you're talking that small of an area, it's usually just headstock, nothing supporting the tail. But most of these that go, we have done a couple of positioners, but most of them are flat table. Drop the parts in and out. Great starter cell. This is, I believe, the lowest cost weld cell that Motoman offers. It still comes, we have a common base for the robot and table or positioners. But it's not that fully welded frame with the controller and the power source on it. Those are just on an extrusion stand. And so that's kind of where they've taken some of that cost out. Manual doors, for the most part, usually manual doors, we do have an auto door option, so a pneumatic powered door, if you wanted to go that way, but majority of those go out with just manual doors. Arc World 50, this also comes 1 or 2 station. They a lot of times have roll-up doors. You can also get those with a slider door. So this could be 2 small roll-up doors or a slider door like the other one. And the way they call that out, it's an AW50 for a single station, AW52 for a 2 station, same robot arm, AR1440. This one you will see, and kind of about the same options as far as positioners or not. Single table, dual table, single station, dual station. This one is a little bit bigger weldment. And so it's going to be more, I'll say more portable, easier to move around. Like if you do, move it on your floor, also comes off the truck, you put it on your floor. I don't have to, there might be some guarding to attach, I think it all comes assembled. It comes ready to go. So this is one of those ones where you can plug it in and start welding. And again, these are all, fully tested and run on a Motoman. A lot of times when we get the larger cells, a customer will go down there and see it run and run it off themselves before it gets packaged up and shipped. And on the larger cells, that's really handy because you can kind of see how it goes together before you end up with a box of parts. It's not that bad, but I'll point more of that out later. But when I say, so it's all common base, so our controller and power source are all mounted right to the same base. And that's how it comes kind of ready to roll. Again, same options, torch cleaner, stack light. This is probably one of the most popular weld cells, especially for smaller job shops, anything like that. So single AR1440, 2 station. Same thing, we can do tabletop or positioner. This one you can see does have headstock and tailstock. So when I say headstock and tailstock, the headstock is the driver portion, that's the motor driven side, and the tailstock is just kind of the idler wheel side, right? So, but it gives us that support. And a lot of times we'll see just a backbone across there that we can mount fixture plates to. Sometimes you'll see a picture frame. Picture frame would be good if I need access to the bottom of that part. So very popular. Torch cleaner in there. This has powered doors, so they're telescoping up-down powered doors. And a fairly simple operator station, right? So we've got a selector switch just to go auto manual so that if I flip the manual, I hit the green button, I can open or close the door. In auto, I hit the green button, the doors go up. It stays green until the robot's done processing and then moves on to the next side. little bit bigger tables on them, and, what's our, we didn't have our span on there, but 1 meter, pin to pin, if we have headstock, tailstock, so 1,300 millimeter table width, 1,300 by 600. 1000 series. This would be the Arc World 1000 and 1200. Difference there is if we have one robot or two, and rotary table positioner. So now I walk into this cell, I look for parts, and come up and start walking, table flips, robot starts processing. I can now walk in again, remove the old, or remove the finished parts, load new ones. Same, this again is on that common base, very portable, comes ready to weld. 6,000 series. Now we're getting a little bigger. Now you can see that we still have common base for the robot or robots and the positioner, but now we gotta assemble some guard in when it comes in the north. So these are available 1, 2, or 3 robots. Typically, they all come with Ferris wheel positioner. So Ferris wheel positioner is going to have pretty much a headstock, tailstock type positioner on each side of it, wall in between. But now it rotates, kind of barrel rolls over the top. So same thing, just when you get to those larger parts and you want that high throughput, you can load parts on the fixture on exposed while robots are processing the other one. So very high throughput on these larger sized parts. This kind of shows the 2 positioners, one presented to the robot, one presented to the operator. Remote and unload.
Sorry to interrupt, Chad.
Go ahead.
It's got a standpoint. Overall, this is the workhorse. This is the most cost effective, highest efficiency, or medium, what I would call it. Jeff got large, and it is truly capable of large parts. But we sell more of these than any other system. This is on like revision number 8 since we started building it 25, 30 years ago. It is a well-refined, this is a beast.
Yeah.
You go to any big, even job shops, love them, but you go into the Polaris, the Bobcats, any of these manufacturers that are elements in a lot of robotic welding, you can see a row of these somewhere in their plant guarantee. I think Polaris is 30 of them. Yeah. Either with all the 2 or 3 robots.
Somebody came in going, oh, yeah. That's nice going. And the robots on those can be the 1440 or the 2010. And then the other option would be do we want a 2 meter or 3 meter span. And so we call that pin to pin. So that would be distance between our headstock and tailstock.
And now we do a lot of custom, like standard, fair about like stock, 2 or 3 meter, but I've got any 3.5 and 4 meter out in the field.
Oh, sure.
And then we've also, with the latest design, kind of changed. There used to be a complete different machine from a 700 kilogram payload to say a 2,800 kg payload. They were very different machines. Now it's from a machine build perspective, they look identical. So when you buy a 750 kg machine, it's overbuilt. Sure. But it's a drive and motor scenario that gives us that additional payload. But for efficiency, cost to manufacture, ordering more castings, things like that, we found that more volume of the same helped us be more cost effective and also building better machine. So this thing is it may not be for your first weld cell. It's not everybody can go to that, although I've sold 3 in the last 3 months that was their first ever cell. It was an Arc World 6000 single robot Ferris wheel positioner, fit their parts well, and it's going to get through.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. Yeah. It gives you a lot of flexibility and you get really high throughput. And all of these cells that have, like most of anything that you're gonna walk into has a cascade light curtain. We can also do, or have the area scanners in here as well, so that you know that nobody's in there, when somebody hits that reset button and puts it into motion. So the 2000 series, is gonna be, one or two robots. These are typically gonna have the 2010 or the 3120, the really large arms. We can do one or two station. The nice part about this is, so this one is going to be more put together on your floor. This is going to be the one that comes kit form. We have guarding to put up. We've got our headstock, tailstock to mount. That's not on the same base. So the robots, they're on Weld, right? Or they're not. They're on pedestals. They're on pedestals. Yep. So. And you can see torch cleaner there. Oh, no, that's the other. Oh, yeah, right here. Torch cleaner kind of in the dark. But it's this one's easy to kind of make custom or revisions of. When we say 3, 4, 5 meter tooling span. So this is one that this is a relatively narrow one here that can get really wide, and then we've done some of these that they can go even wider.
We used to call this our fab world because it was good for those fab shops that did a lot of variety, not a lot of repetition, or they might buy it to make one particular part that's one size and they buy a size for that, but 2 years from now they get another part. Well, it fits the payload of the positioner and it fits the reach of the robot, but they need to make some changes to it. Because it's not all tied together with steel and a common base, it allows them to literally just spread it or move it or add a different positioner on the backside, or maybe your volume is only demands one side for the initial purchase.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. So we go, yeah, so sometimes we'll sell these just single-sided and then, with room for expansion. And so now we just drop in another positioner and the robots are already set up to be able to access both sides. Another positioner and another operator station. You want to have an operator station at each side. So yeah, a little more flexibility there, as far as, what, if I want to grow it down the road. So that's that was the lineup. That's the lineup from Arc World, those pre-engineered, Motoman cells. So then we also have custom design, and there's a custom equipment group at Motoman, that will do a custom design. This is one that was built and assembled at Motoman. We ran it off on their floor before we shipped it to the customer. And then, this is a little bit smaller one. And I'll say too that, us as Mechatronic Solutions, something like that is going to go through Motoman. It just, that's the way it's going to be. That's makes the most sense. When we start talking about a smaller one where we've just got a single arm, tilt rotate positioner. I needed to do this. This actually ended up with a half wall between here. Much like that, I should have pointed that out. So we got half walls between the robot and the positioner, so somebody can walk in there. And somebody else hits a reset button. There's access doors on the side to get in and service those robots. Those access doors have safety switches on them. So anyway, this is one then that was custom build that we just did in our shop. And
obviously that's here before it went to the customer.
Yeah, didn't even take it off the pallet, but we we set it up, tested it out, made sure that we could label the cables, label the guarding so that it's easy to put together when it gets to the floor. And then and another one up there, that's actually one that was built here also. And I think that was kind of mostly put together on their floor. I think they actually got 2 of those. And so one thing, like I know on one of them, we didn't have that back wall on there because it's right up against a wall, building. So that's where, some of that custom design come in handy. Got the same type of, those were the same type of positioner, the still rotate, positioner. And that's from a MotoSim, layout that we did. And I know I showed that here also. And the real thing that I wanted to point out, so this is based on an Arc World 500. This is so when we start talking about, modified Arc World as opposed to like a fully custom, right? So there's a lot of times when we do this on R4, we can do this through Motoman also, but it's one of those situations where, this is something easy for us to do. We have, the engineering staff and to just be able to make some bigger panels. Maybe we just want a wider spread on the headstock, tailstock, put a little bit bigger arm in it. Maybe we don't need a bigger arm. We just need to accommodate that part, but we don't need the reach for the welding. And so, that's something that's easy for us to do. And so based on an Arc World 500, expand it out a little bit, maybe there's no back wall on it, maybe it's a little longer, because we put a bigger arm in there. And so those will, design, build and test right here in-house. We can still run that through the custom equipment group at Motoman. It just, it's not that custom. And so anytime something goes through custom equipment group, it just adds weeks or months. Brandon, months?
It totally depends on the backlog.
On the load, yeah, depending on the load time. We could probably do it we could probably be a little more cost effective on it, but, it'd be, and mainly because of the, the engineering staff and overhead that they have down there. It's like, so like I said, on the bigger systems, yeah, by all means, they're gonna go, we're gonna let them do that. They do it well. Something that's simpler, and we can handle it here. That means we can get it to you sooner, and save a little money. Hey, now when I say based on Arc World, it's like, and the reason I put this one in here, and I had it on the custom one, it was totally custom, but, this was really, operationally, it's, very similar to that Arc World 2000. So, instead of being back to back, it's side by side. So all of our, like we still have the same, light curtains on here, that we would have on a back to back cell. But instead of having a headstock, tailstock, we got two Moto 500 positioner, tilt rotate positioners, and a single arm. And so that one kind of fell into both categories. It's, we've done these also with headstock, tailstock on in here. And that's really an Arc World 2000 that's just side by side rather than back to back.